Welcome Algebra 2. Today we're going to learn how to write exponential functions, equations I should say, to potentially real world scenarios. And this is the example problem that we have written here, so let's go ahead and read it and talk about it. Let's say you bought a signed Percy Harvin Seahawks jersey for $100 back in 2013. He then got traded and is now on the verge of no longer playing in the NFL. Every year, the value of the jersey is going to go down by 10%. How much will the jersey be worth after 2 years? Alright, so we have this problem that we're trying to solve, essentially how much the jersey is going to be worth after 2 years. So we know for sure, when you bought the jersey, it cost it. So the initial price, let me go ahead and just write that nicer. The initial price was $100. Okay? Alright, so now let's say we want to find out how much it's going to cost after the first year. Well, one of the things that we could do, maybe the most natural way of approaching this problem here is going to be, let's find out what's 10% of $100. So one of the ways that we could do that is that we have 10%. We need to turn this into a decimal. So we're going to divide this by 100% and we're going to get 0.10. Alright, so if we take $100 and we multiply it by 0.10, this is going to tell us how much is 10% of 100. Now it should be $10, but you can always check if you need be on your calculator. So it's $10. Alright, so we're going to have 100 minus $10, and we're going to get after the first year. So 10% of 100 is $10, so it's going to lose 10%. It's going to lose $10, and we're going to be keeping 90% after the first year. So the jersey will be worth $90 after the first year. But now we want to find out how much it's going to be worth the next year. Well, we need to take the $90, because the first year is worth 90, and so we need to take, after the first year is going to be worth 90, so now we take the 90 and we need to multiply it by 0.10, which is 10%, to find out how much it's going to lose the second year. Well, if we do that, it's going to lose $9. So we're losing $9. Alright? Therefore, we're going to get 90 minus $9, and we're going to get $81. So we know that after 1 year, the jersey is only going to, after 2 years, the jersey is only going to be worth $81. Now this is kind of the long way to approach it, and a lot of us, this is the most natural way to approach it, but this is where exponential functions can really help us to make sense of how to maybe do this in a more convenient fashion. Alright, so let's go ahead down below. One of the ways that we can write exponential equations is, alright, so the A is our starting value, and our B is our constant multiplier, but in this case with these kind of problems, this is going to be our, basically this is the percentage that we keep. We know that my A value is going to equal 100. Alright, well if I want to find out what is the percentage that we keep, well we're losing 10% every year, so we're keeping 90% every year. Alright, so now let's go ahead, well let's turn 90%, so yeah, we're losing 10%, we're keeping 90. One way we can do that is, well, 100% minus 10% is going to give us 90%. Then we turn that into a decimal, so we get 90 divided by 100% is going to be 0.9. Alright, well let's go ahead and write our equation. We got y is equal to $100 because, again, this A represents the starting value, which is what it started off with 100. Alright, so, and then the B is the percentage we keep. Well, we're losing 10%, like we mentioned up here. We're losing 10%, so we're keeping 90%. because 100 minus 10 is 90. Then we divide by 100, we get that. So we're going to get 0.9 raised to the x. Alright, well if we actually do this, 100 times 0.9 to the 1 power, we're going to get $90 for the first year. Well, if we want to go ahead and do it for the next year, we're going to get 100 times 0.90 raised to the second power, and we're going to get $81. And this is exactly the work that we just did up here. The first year he loses first year the jersey is worth 90. The second year it's going to be worth $81. So this is essentially the work we'll do here, but exponential functions help us to rewrite them in a way that's a little bit more easier to manage. Hope this helps to understand exponential functions and how to write that with the equations.